What's going on, guys? Greek Freak here, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Eastern Conference Finals matchup, the Raptors versus the Milwaukee Bucks. And whenever we think about these two teams, we obviously know them as the two, as far as standalone teams when it came to the regular season, as far as record. Now, of course, we all know how interesting these playoffs have been and really have been going very well. So as far as in this video, of course, we're going to start off with the Toronto Raptors, and the Toronto Raptors, who came off an amazing 7-game series, the first buzzer beater for a win in a 7-game series as far as on game 7. So we definitely know the fact that Greek Freak and Kawhi are going to be a handful as far as this matchup. I definitely like the two players that are going to be going against each other, two of the best two-way players in the NBA whenever we really do think about it, and this is really going to be a great matchup, I believe. So of course, as we all know, Kawhi Leonard making that game-winning shot, making that a very, very great series. It almost looked like he took over at the end of that game. And in many stands, this is where I really have to worry about this Raptors team, despite I don't think that it's going to be the same situation as far as at the beginning of the series at all, which is the fact that those other Raptor players, the supporting cast, really seem to shy away from shooting the basketball, having Kawhi being only one shot away from most attempts in an elimination game 7. So whenever we really do look at this, we have to sit there, and of course we're going to have to see more things that step up as far as this Raptors and the other ends here. Now, Philadelphia definitely seemed to be a little bit inconsistent as far as things, as far as the health way, and therefore when they're facing the Milwaukee Bucks, it will not be that same situation. But of course, all the benefits that do come out to it, the Raptors did have a very good supporting cast throughout the entire year, and of course their additions that they definitely have in Marc Gasol and other players that they've definitely added. Danny Green, of course, Kawhi Leonard is going to be the main factor as far as whether or not they can continue on into this stretch. Now, of course, as we all know, this is going to be a very good matchup. I think the fact that we really are going to look at this as a completely different thing. They both have pretty great standard defense as far as the way that it's played, and their offense is very well organized as far as relying a lot on the three-point shot. So whenever we look at these two teams, it's going to be definitely something more interesting. Of course, the Raptors coming off of game 7, I feel like they're going to be more ready as far as going into this direct game in comparison to the Bucks, who have had a complete week off. And when I sit there and think of a week off, I think whenever you're a three-point shooting team, which Milwaukee really does seem to be, that many people don't fully realize sometimes, but that's really bad, I feel like, for a three-point shooting team to have all that time off as far as rust, especially in that first quarter. So look for the Raptors to try to capitalize on that first quarter, try to really pull off into that game, which really was important in that series. Now, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, this very deep team that has really just been consistently doing very well, having the most 20-point wins all season long, and of course the best record in the NBA. So whenever we look at this, they have obviously not met too much resistance other than one loss in this entire playoff so far against the Boston Celtics in game 1, where Giannis of course has stated the fact that they cannot go down as far as this game 1 against this Toronto Raptors team. So I look for them to be very motivated in this game despite having that entire week off. So like I mentioned, I expect there to be rust in that very beginning, but I think the fact that the Bucks' depth is just so consistently there, especially with the addition of Malcolm Brogdon, who came into the middle of that Celtics series. So we're definitely going to see, I feel like, the full-on force of this Milwaukee Bucks team, and we're going to see a great matchup between these two teams. And as far as my prediction, of course, as we all know, I did pick the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Golden State Warriors for the NBA Finals. So I'm picking the Bucks to win this in 6 games. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raptors take one of the first 2 road games because of, like I mentioned, the inconsistencies that are going to happen with coming off of a week's rest for a shooting team. So whenever we really do look at this, I think the fact this should be definitely a good series though in that at retrospect. And like I mentioned, I think the fact that it's just Milwaukee's depth is really going to take hold here. Of course, I expect Giannis and Kawhi to have an amazing series as far as the numbers that they've been putting up all playoffs long. So as far as that, I guess I want to ask you guys that question, which is, who do you think is going to win this series and how many games? So guys, tell me in the comments below, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you guys leave a like and subscribe to become part of the Greek Army today. And as always, this is Sparta.